Welcome, my alumni friends. My name's Jim Wright. I'm the Director of Alumni Services for Gateway Foundation, and I'm so grateful that you're here with us again today. As I've stated before, we're going to continue with this broadcast every Friday at 12 noon by myself or one of our staff members or one of our alums from one of our locations, and to speak, directly about the topic that we've selected. I continue to work with the marketing team, and boy, I tell you, we probably need to hear more about something like I'm going to share today, and that's caring for others in recovery. I've been taught, and all of us have been taught to put our recovery first, right? But it's simply a touch of the heart, and being able to give back, give service, to our alums, right? Or people that are in need in general. And I know that when we do that, it is such a kickback of gratitude and love and being mindful of other people's place of where they are. So I'm going to share a little bit about caring, for others in recovery. Whoever you meet, right? Anyone in recovery. I always thought that was kind of different when I first started going to meetings that first 90 days. I didn't get it. I simply did not get it. And I could not understand how open people were with me. And then they would state that we care. We hope that, Jim, you won't drink or drug today. And they would say that. And I was like, wow, what do you want from me? It was kind of like, well, okay. But they really, really, really cared. And it was part of what I started to learn in the meetings. Number two, what does caring mean? Well, I just talked a little bit about that. I think that we don't realize, especially with the pandemic right now, how isolated we all are. And if we do go be with family, or if you go to a 12-step meeting, or meet with a counselor, guess what we're probably doing? We're still on GoToMeeting, Zoom, or any kind of online format. And I know that it's simply getting old. I was talking a little bit about this on a meeting this morning about just trying to stay positive with this. So I think that time will give us that rest, and then just being able to care for others that keep coming on with me, right? Or any meetings that we participate throughout the week. Number three, when? Now. Attend our virtual alumni meetings, our location events. Don't stop communicating. Sometimes I think by just staying connected, I have people coming on for 10 minutes. A lot of our virtual meetings are typically between 15 to 45 minutes. And we usually talk about a topic, or guess what? Come on and just talk about what's going on. It could be related to your relationship with your family, your wife, your friends, people that you've met in the community of recovery, or maybe just something related to your job, and also talking a little bit about and sharing when someone that you really love has died or is sick. So, just attend now. 4, where? Gateway Connect app, right? Man, we are continually signing up people, and guess what? The alums and people they're just talking to each other, and when they're in need, or just sharing their milestones, right? Any kind of milestone right now is so important. And I think the Gateway app just came up. It is so easy to download this. Just Gateway Foundation, go to .org, you'll see it where it'll come up, where you can download the app on Google Play or Apple. Type links that we have here on the screen right now. So again, it's staying connected, communicate. I think my first sponsor talked a lot about just stay connected. I said, well, I don't necessarily want to go. I don't want to show up, especially now virtually, right? Sometimes we turn the webcam on, sometimes we're just on phone, or we don't come. So there's a combination of things there. Number 5, why? Why do you want to do this? Why do you want to care? Care for others in recovery. Again, I think it's very heartfelt. It's very service oriented. We're putting our recovery first. And when we're sharing the story, I know that it gives me the hope of not drinking or drugging today. Sobriety is such a gift. Being abstinent, working with, a therapist, working for with a gateway counselor. Some of the relationships some of our alumni have developed, with counselors is incredibly support. The people you're being treated with, then going out, right? Graduating from everything and then having to learn how to live on life's terms, and then being able to, talk to me, and who was in long-term recovery. I actually just connected recently with a sponsor of mine that I hadn't talked to in a long, long time. Anyway, he had the same phone number. He picked up. He's got a few more years sober than I have. And I said, how are things going? He said, I've just got today. I love that. So anyway, recapping here, number 1, anyone that you can meet with, you're going to end up caring for. Number 2, what does that mean when you care? You care because it's heartfelt, it's service oriented. You're putting your recovery first. Number 3, 10 meetings. 4, go wherever you think you need to go. Virtual right now, there's so many different options. Find a home group, find something that works. Number 5, I want to stay sober and abstinent. I know that that's what happens. And I've got a story here. My friend Joe, who I was connected with through one of my sponsors, and he happened to be looking for someone to work with. So he and I had talked, and his story basically goes that he got sober in prison, and he was released, and he was on probation. But then after my sponsor suggested, why don't you go talk to Joe? Maybe he can, maybe you and we could get together and, do some 12-step inventories and learn, come up with a list of amends and different things related to what was going on in his life. Well, it was great. Joe became a very big part of my life and very big part of my recovery family, especially our home group, our 12-step home group, and my own personal family. So anyway, we started working together, right? And he started having some real physical problems. Related to his being able to just walk. And anyway, through the time period, I started to help him get around. And he lived in a place where he didn't have any handicap equipment or, rails or anything to hold on to get back and up and down on the steps. So anyway, we started doing that. And then he had a point where he did an inventory with me, and he needed to, I urged strongly that he get in touch with his family. So he had alienated everybody pretty much. It was really, really difficult. He says, no one wants to talk to me. So anyway, he eventually, we talked about that, sorted that through. Well, wouldn't you know it, after he was going to the doctor, and then he was recommended highly to go to a cancer doctor, he was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. He had never been diagnosed in prison. And also there was a big challenge for him to accept this, in addition to the fact that he knew that he had a limited amount of time, stage 4, anything related to cancer. So they did everything they possibly could. I remember I was going to every extent to help him and to be of service. And we had some of the most one-on-one 12-step, very spiritual, very, very deep suited feeling meetings about things. He then contacted his family, and they came and they did kind of a screening to see if Joe had been sober and absent, like he said. and they just simply, he made amends, and they embraced each other. Thank goodness. For then he actually went down to get services, and at that point he had, I don't know, probably had 90 days to live based on what the doctors were saying. And I took, I actually got to know his family a little bit through this process, and we had actually visited him one last time. And then he had gone through, it was, anybody knows anything about cancer, it's so hard to watch. Anyway, he had passed away. His daughter had contacted me and said, would you please come and share a little bit about Joe and how he did his recovery with you and how he was able to come back into our lives at his funeral. And that was really something that I had not done before. I have a long-term sobriety. So anyway, the relationship I had to him, his family, after the service, I have so many people coming up and thanking me for my effort to just work with him in recovery, but also to help him understand where he was going, when he was going to pass from cancer. So that's probably one of the most caring, service-oriented, recovery-oriented, real stories that I have. It touched my heart. I know that he's in a much better place, and I'm just grateful that he was able to be part of my life. So caring for others in recovery. We have gateways open. You can see the hotline numbers below, and please don't think that we're not here for you. If I know that the isolation or the times that we've been going through this last year has not been easy. But anyway, as the app comes back up, hey, give it a try and connect with us. By the way, we're going to have, I hope, a guest, one of our alums from the Aurora location, and give a voice to the voiceless. And that's going to be our topic for next Friday. And we are going to just be grateful for our time together. And I hope that you have a warmer weekend. I know the snow in Northern Illinois is finally melting. So thank you for coming on today. And we're hoping to hear from you soon. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend. Bye.